My name is Gadadhara Pandit, and I am a Hindu monk. I live in the Lower East Side of New York City, and I work as a chaplain at Columbia University, New York University, and Union Theological Seminary. And I recently published a book called Urban Monk, Exploring Karma, Consciousness, and the Divine. And in the book I talk about my journey into how I became a monk and what I do as a monk. I grew up in Los Angeles, California, originally from India. Came to the US in 1980. After a lot of struggle, my parents established a very, very successful, literally a multi-million-dollar jewelry business. And we had a very big house on the hill of Los Angeles, and it seemed like my life was set, that I was gonna, when I got out of college, I'll take over the business, and I wouldn't ever have to worry about the basic necessities of life. But it was in 1993 that my parents' jewelry factory caught on fire and burnt down. And because that was the source of all our revenue, within a year after that, we began to lose everything. We gradually lost our home, this 6-bedroom, 5-bathroom home with a swimming pool and jacuzzi, the whole works. Gradually we lost the cars, and it was a complete wipeout in one sense. My father, he decided to pursue some business opportunities in East Europe in 1993. East Europe was just coming out of communism at that time. And he decided that, well, maybe there's some way he can do business there, provide certain items that they've never had there, and quickly reestablish those fortunes. And so we went from this mansion-like house to living in a 1-bedroom apartment. I felt completely uprooted. I mean, everything that I had was gone. I was in a foreign country with no friends. I didn't know anybody, and the things that made it even more challenging were that nobody spoke English in that country. The television had no English programming. It was just Bulgarian and Russian. So I felt very alone, and there was nothing for me to do. It was the first time in my life that I started asking the really profound questions of life as to why is this happening to me? And who controls my fate anyways? Because I was destined to live a very comfortable 90210 lifestyle. And now I'm having trouble buying groceries. I started reading the Bhagavad Gita, which is considered to be one of the primary spiritual texts of India, in which Arjuna is going through a very challenging time in his life. He's lost his kingdom also. And he's not sure what his next duty is, and Krishna instructs him. And even though I had tried to read the Bhagavad Gita before, while in LA, while things were good, I could never relate to it. It never made sense to me, because the idea of loss I hadn't encountered yet. But now that I was in this humbled space, in this space without possessions, in this space where I was questioning things, the Bhagavad Gita made perfect sense to me. It really gave me hope, and it gave me strength to keep going, because I was starting to understand that my purpose on this earth wasn't just to be surrounded by comfortable material situations. It was really to go deeper and understand, who am I? How did I get here? And what is my ultimate purpose of life? So there was about 5 to 6 years of working and coming back to the US after Bulgaria, reading the Gita, questioning, discussing, where I finally came to this point. I joined a monastery, where I realized that I think this is what I want to do, if not forever, then at least for a good amount of time, so I can really answer the questions for myself, like really, what do I want to do? What do I want to contribute to society? What good can I do for people? What good can I do for myself and the people around me? So that situation of loss and devastation, now when I look back at it in retrospect, I would say it was a time of an incredible blessing. Kind of needed to be turned upside down and shaken, and that's exactly what happened to me. And if that's what needed to happen, then I'm grateful for that.
I'm Skylar Grant, and I'm the director of Kula Yoga Project and one of the co-creators of this crazy event. I'm a mom of 3 girls, 9, 7, 4. So when you become a parent, one of the things that people say is that your whole perspective changes.